Tom Naylor and Daly Campbell absent this weekend due to an accumulation of bookings. What can teams do in a game that's increasingly card happy to make sure these things don't happen so regular?
Listen, without you would have seen the game without coming for the referees a little bit. I think the Tom Naylor yellow card was an absolute disgrace of a yellow card. If anything, we were on the bench. We thought it might have been a red card for Harris from Salford. That was our honest opinion. So how refereeing, you go back to we've had the apologies again and stuff like that, but it's cost our manager a yellow card. It's cost our centre midfielder who's in really good form a yellow card, and we lose both of them tomorrow. So listen, it's a tough game to referee. It wasn't a tough game to referee, but it's a tough job to ref, and I understand, but they're basic decisions to make, and we were frustrated. We won't lie. We spoke to the referees again on the referee association again, and listen, it's costing us mistakes like that, which we think are quite simple decisions, and it's costing us, but we move on.
And is the feedback that you ever get kind of satisfactory, or is it you have to accept an apology and that's it? Get on with it.
Yeah, well, nothing can change.
Yeah.
The gaffer's still got a suspension. Tom Naylor's still missing tomorrow, so nothing changes. But it just seems quite regular now. We're getting apologies, and personally, I don't like it because it makes it even a little bit more so that he's made a mistake. But um, it's a tough job for them. I understand that is a really tough job, but uh, they've got to be a little bit better.
So yeah, with Paul equally suspended tomorrow, then how does that change roles and responsibilities and communication tomorrow?
No, he'll let us go at it again. It's pretty similar. I'll be on the line as I have done every game he's been suspended. So I've had quite a few games to take the team. But no, the week's the same. We still prep the same. He's a big part, and he can still speak before the games and half time and stuff like that. So no, it's just basically goading the team into what we've worked on all week, and hopefully you don't have to say too much on the touchline because your work comes out from Monday to Friday.
Just on the general issue of bookings, mainly for players, I suppose, because it's less regular for coaches and managers.
Yeah.
Do instances like the Salford game and just how the game is nowadays make you a bit more mindful, wary? Because on one hand, strong tackles and all that is part of the game in the general sense. Whereas if you know you're going to get a yellow card for it, it just puts things in players' minds.
Yeah, it's quite easy, well, especially from a couple of years back. It's easier to get a yellow card now as a coach, as a manager, as a player. I think even with the descent one brought in, the time one for the keeper brought in, and the fourth official who you try to get a little bit of help off at times, and it can get frustrating for managers. Um, but yeah, you do have to you have to tread carefully. You do. You can't say much. You can't have two standing up in the dugout and on the technical area. So there's so many rules and stuff where you can get. It's quite easy to get a yellow card, but when decisions go like that against you, where
Sure.
we thought Salford were going to go down to 10 men because it was a really strong tackle. It was a very very strong yellow or a red. We thought, and to see our player get yellow card, it was more than a surprise, I can say.
Dylan Duffy hasn't played since, I don't think, since he scored at Crawley. How's he coming along fitness wise?
Yeah, really well, really well. Really pleased to have him back. He's been he's been a bit of a nightmare for the physios because he loves football. He's desperate to be back, and he's been asking to come back. But we had to be really careful. It's a bit of a freak injury, um, but he's trained with the group this week, and it'd be nice to have him back this weekend.
Yeah, and a player obviously that was in good form prior to that injury. How significant is it then that he's available? Given his personality, given his enthusiasm, given the fact that he's obviously itching to come back
No,
into the squad.
no, he was influencing games every game. It was either a goal or assist. Even he scored the cracking goal. Was it the game he got injured? He might have scored the cracking goal or the one before. His numbers are really good. Um, and not just that, his work rate, his penetration, his lovely left foot. He's an infectious player, and he done so well to start the season. And I think that's what makes it a little bit more difficult for him to come out the team injured. It's so frustrating for him. But yeah, well, listen, we're more than pleased to have him back. He can play 3 or 4 positions as well, which is big in football these days.
Forgive me if I've missed this, and or Liam and Ian have asked about this previously, but Will Grigg, how long's he out for? Do we know?
No, it won't be long. It won't be long at all. Um, we're quite pleased with the scan results, which showed minimal damage. There's a little bit of damage there, but not at the time we feared a little bit worse where the injury was and stuff. So he'll be back in the near future a lot sooner than what we first feared.
Oh, that's a positive because the fears from the fans were like, oh, hell. But the fact that it won't be so long then, I mean, what a player to have in the near future.
Yeah, but I thought Lee Bonis is, again, to come in. Lee Bonis has been terrific last couple of games. I think his work rate, and he got his goal against Burton. He had half a chance, which in the Salford game, there wasn't many chances in the game, to be honest, but he had half a chance at Salford. He could have took a touch, possibly. But his work rate and everything for the team to get up the pitch, and I think our last 2 performances have epitomised the work rate from Lee Bonis.
How much as a group do you feel you're back on track now? You know, there was a brief period of time where the wins weren't coming, but now they are. And there's been a few in recent weeks where you go, you know what? Particularly at home, things have been very, very good indeed.
Yeah, so we stripped things back a little bit. And when you've had a result like Colchester, you need to battle down the hatches and you need to go back to basics. And I've heard that saying so many times over the last couple of weeks about teams going back to basics. But basics is you roll your sleeves up, you get your shape, your hard to beat, you work hard. And maybe we did. We probably suffered without one more forward player going forward just to make us that little bit stronger at the back. And I thought the work rate, first and foremost, the players, what a reaction from Colchester. Because we were on the floor 10 days ago, or what is it, 2 weeks ago?
Mm.
We were on the floor. It was a really tough defeat to take as a club. Um, but just shows the character in there. We've got some really good boys, got some good experience, and the last 2 performances have really shown what character they've got in that changing room.
Yeah, no one wants to be in those circumstances, clearly, but ultimately it can be used as a starting point for better, can't it? Just when it forces people to have a think or a rethink or a reset, that type of thing, and you move on from there.
100%. 100%. And listen, you don't want to be on the end of one, but sometimes it can help. And I think the reaction, we need the reaction. We can't just go to Colchester and try and play our football and without really in and right to go to these tough places in them conditions. And you've got to fight first and foremost. You've got to respect the opposition. You've got to fight. You've got to run. You've got to run hard. And we've got back to that the last 2 games. I thought the effort from the lads, which has been there all season, but we just come off a little tiny bit. But the last 2 games, I thought the work rate for the lads have been absolutely exceptional. And hopefully we keep that tomorrow, go into it and add a little bit more finesse at the top end where you can create a couple of more chances.
So yeah, tomorrow being Fleetwood, then they themselves have had a little bit of an upturn recently as well, haven't they? What's your assessment from afar on what Fleetwood bring to the SMH tomorrow?
Well, they're on the back of some good home wins.
Mm.
Going to the Harrogate game, I thought Harrogate was terrific in the game, but Fleetwood found a way to win. I like Fleetwood always. I like the manager. I've liked them since the National League days. I think the forward line is really strong. They've got 4 or 5 really good. They've got experience. The boy Graydon who penetrates, who can finish, who's a really good player. They've done well to keep hold of. 3-5-2. Wing backs will go high. They're a good team. They're a good team. They're a well drilled team, and they always will be under the coach. So we'll have our hands full. They'll have the tails up with that win Saturday. And the win at Colchester, which is a good win. I thought second half against Colchester, the second half against Colchester, they were really strong home performance, and he won in the cup as well. So on the back of 3 home wins, which will have the confidence high there, and he'll come here and obviously they'll try and win the game. We have a plan. We've worked to the plan all week, and hopefully we can execute that.